Hi, this is Pete Singer, editor of Semiconductor Digest. I'm here live at SEMICON West 2022 in San Francisco, and I'm talking to Subodh Kulkarni, who's the president and CEO of CyberOptics. And Subodh's going to tell us about the new things they have here at the show.
Yeah, Pete, good to see you. We are excited to be at the show. We have a couple new products that we are showcasing at the show. One is what we call ATS2, which is a new version of our teaching sensor, part of our WaferSense family. And other is called ATSR, which is a reticle sensor, also part of the broader WaferSense Reticle Sense family. WaferSense has been an exciting product portfolio for us. We have been in this business for a few years now. The numbers continue to grow. We serve 7 applications now. Teaching is one of the popular applications, and our customers requested this new iterations of ATS2, which is basically a dual-sided teaching sensor. All the teaching sensors so far we have sold have been single-sided camera. Now we have up and down camera both, and that helps a lot for process and equipment engineers in knowing where to do the wafer handoff and seeing both sides of the robot instead of just one side.
I see, okay. And I think people know you best for your WaferSense, but you also have inline particle sensors as well?
Yeah, I mean, WaferSense family includes 7 applications. One of the applications is particles. So we are actually going inside the FOUP or the equipment tool, and we can do particle count all the way starting with 0.15 micron and above. So that's 150 nanometer. So we can give you a pretty accurate count of what exactly the number of particles is above 150 nanometer in any part of your system right now. It's again a very popular part of the WaferSense family.
Okay, and another part of your product line is the MRS 3D sensor. So can you tell us what's going on there?
WaferSense is an exciting portfolio, as I said, goes into the front end of the semiconductor fabs. The other part of the company is what we call the MRS sensor technology. MRS is multi-reflection suppression sensor technology. It's a unique way of doing 3D non-contact optical sensing. It's significantly faster and better in resolution and accuracy than conventional optical sensing technology. So we sell both MRS sensors as well as MRS inspection systems that use MRS sensors for both the electronics market as well as the semiconductor market. It's both WaferSense and MRS are growing very rapidly for us. WaferSense has grown average about 17% CAGR over the last 5 years. The rates have been better in the last year or 2 years when semiconductor industry has done well. MRS has grown on average about 32% CAGR over the last 5 years. Again, the growth rates have been very, very good in the last couple years or so.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. We're back, and I'm talking to Vidya Vijay, who is going to show us a little bit about the WaferSense wafer and reticle new product. So, Vidya, could you tell us what's going on here?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So we have our newest product, ATS2. It's a teach sensor, meaning it's a camera sensor. It has 2 cameras, one camera looking downwards and the other camera upwards. And it is used for any teaching applications where there is a center feature, and if the robot has to be taught to place the wafer properly, then they need some type of a teaching mechanism. And it can be used in any type of tools, and the downward camera can go anywhere between 6.5 to 45 millimeter. And in the newer sensor, we have a lot of features that it can teach to, anywhere from a circle, a square, a cross, or even sometimes if they can provide a template, we can teach to it. So it can be really any shape that we can teach to it. And we also allow manual teaching options where they just want to use the teach sensor for inspection mode. If there is a problem, there is debris in the shower head, or there is debris somewhere in the pedestals that's causing issue that they want to look at, they can use the sensor for such applications as well. It is in a glass housing, as you can see, and it is 3.5 millimeter thick. So we are trying to mimic and be light as much as the wafer as possible. And being thinner from our current sensor, it helps to get into the slit valve so much easily for wafer going from load lock and EFEMs and so on to the main process chamber. And we are vacuum compatible, and we can go, the tool can be pumped up down up to 10 to the power minus 6, and we are wireless. And we can be both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi in this new sensor with our own gateway system that can talk to the sensor. So entirely wireless with a lot more features for teaching robot arms.
I see. Okay, I can imagine that'd be incredibly useful. Now, can you tell us about the reticle sensor?
Yes, definitely. So the reticle sensor has 5 cameras, and it is used to teach the placement of the reticle inside a cathode or the capture plate. So when the reticle is placed inside the capture plate, the gap around the reticle has to be uniform, because if it is not placed properly, it can cause issues in mass production, in reticle production itself. So what we do is we can teach the reticle to the corner pockets, the edges. So there are 4 cameras that can find the proper edges and teach to it. So, and we provide the X, Y, and Z measurements and all the offsets needed for the robot to be tuned. So it is successful in the placement and they have better yield in production. And the center camera is used more in general inspection mode.
Okay. All right, Vidya, thank you very much.
Thank you.